Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are done with color switch and now it's time to take on another challenge. The next game that I want to teach you is called AA. Maybe you have heard about it because it's very popular and has a lot of downloads, but maybe you didn't hear about it because it has a weird name. Anyway, when I first started playing it, I was so amazed that something that simple can occupy my time for so long. And also, I was impressed by how much room there is for further development. There is just so many ways that you can make different levels and express your creativity with this simple game. It's amazing. In case you don't know what this game is, there is a circle in the middle that's rotating and that's kind of the target where you want to aim. And that's the only thing that you are allowed to hit with these little pins. So if you hit another pin, it's game over. The fact that this game is so simple yet so addictive made me really think about it. I mean, sure, it's great to teach you how to recreate it, but I wanted to give my students something more. So I decided, why not make the game even better? First, we are going to tackle the core concepts of the game, and after that we are going to make some improvements and make our own levels. At the end of this game, I'm also going to challenge my students to create their own levels and send me their ideas or projects or videos or whatever, and I'm going to make a separate video featuring those ideas that you sent me. So this should be pretty interesting. Without further ado, let's get into Unity. Right now I'm using Unity 2017.1. We are going to create a new project and we are going to name it AA Replica. It's going to be a 2D game and everything else should stay the same. Once that Unity is open, we are going to set up the project in a similar way like we did in the last game. So first go to File and Build Settings. The first and most important thing that we need to switch is the platform. So choose Android and click on Switch Platform. After that, go to the player settings. In Resolution and Presentation, we want to change the default orientation to Portrait mode. And after that, go to Other Settings and we want to change the package name. But you might remember this also from the last lesson. It's going to be comp.myname.aareplica. After that, you should be all set to go. First, let's create some folders so our project can stay organized. As we learned in the last game, that becomes very important once the things get complicated. So we are going to have folders for scripts, for sprites, for prefabs, for scenes, and if you need some more later, it's easy to add them. After that, let's create some scenes. In this game we are going to have a lot more scenes than in the last one. Right now we have one scene open that is untitled, and in order to give it a title we need to save it. So go to File and click on Save Scenes or use Ctrl+S on your keyboard. The first scene that we want is the home scene. After that we want to create a new scene, either going to File and pressing on New Scene or using Ctrl+N on our keyboard. Save it to give it a name, and this one is going to be the Quick Play scene. Let's create a new scene. And we want to save it as Level Menu Scene. For now, let's just add one more, because we will be adding the rest later on. This one is going to be called Quick Game Over Scene. After you have created the scenes, select them all and drag them into the Scenes folder. Switch back to your home scene, and now it's time to add them to the build settings. So go to File, Build Settings, and click on Add Open Scenes. After that, open the next scene and do the same thing. Don't forget that whenever you add a new scene, you also need to add it to the build settings, or you will be getting some problems. Again, switch back to the home scene, and now it's time to import the sprites into Unity. I have already created the sprites, as in the last game, and they are all in one image this time, so let's take a look at the image. We see that we have 5 different backgrounds for 5 different scenes, and we have a bunch of buttons. These are the buttons that are going to be used in some of the scenes, however the buttons to the right are going to be used in the level menu. So how this game is going to work is actually, this is going to be the home scene, and we are going to have the quick play and the level buttons on here. The quick play is just a simple game mode that challenges you to achieve the highest game score. However, levels are going to be pre-made and they are going to be unlockable, so in order to get to the second level you will first need to finish the first one, and that's the way our game will be different from the original. In the original game you immediately get to play the highest level that you achieved, and there's no way to go back to other levels unless you uninstall the game. So that's what I didn't like about the original game, and I decided to improve it. After you fail in the quick play, you get to the game over scene that will show you your score and the high score. And it will also give you 2 buttons here, one to return to the main menu and one to try again. The level menu will be holding these little buttons. I have only made 10 of those. I don't know how many levels you guys will be creating, therefore I made also one that's clear, so you can edit it and add more levels if you want. After you successfully clear one level, you will be taken to this scene right here, which says congratulations, you have unlocked the next level. If you fail, it will take you to this screen which says you have failed to unlock the next level. So for now it seems a bit more complicated than the last game, but it's still pretty straightforward. To import the sprites, simply drag and drop them into Unity and make sure you place them into the sprites folder. Once that they are in, select the sprite. In sprite mode you want to choose multiple and go into the sprite editor. Apply the changes, and once you are in, click on slice. Make sure your type is set to automatic and click on slice. After a few seconds everything should be done. Make sure all of these sprites are properly separated, and if that's the case you are ready to go. Make sure you apply the changes before exiting, and now we are going to have a bunch of sprites. Okay, now our project is all set to actually build the game. In the next lesson we are going to make the home menu. And it's going to be a very quick lesson because we already talked about most of the things.